The Goldlane organization is developing the automated roadway infrastructure to solve urban traffic. This infrastructure will create a transit system that combines the flexibility of a taxi, the safety and speed of a monorail, with the controls and operations of an elevator. The system consists of elevated guideways with vehicles that can choose their own direction through a junction. All vehicle movement would be completely automated, and this system is significantly less complex than a surface roadway and can be done with regular programming logic, not machine learning. Choosing their own direction through a junction creates offline stops, so more stations can be added without delaying other riders, thus creating the highest level of service for users. As seen here, the green vehicle is stopped at a station connected to the building, while the purple vehicle continues on their trip without having to wait for other stopped vehicles. Think of the Miami People Mover, but with lots of smaller vehicles and a much faster operating speed. Now create offline stations in multiple routes. If the people on board aren't going to that station, the vehicle won't stop. Riders choose their destination, the same as in an elevator, and this is done on a phone or in the station, so the incoming vehicles are loaded with riders going to the same destination. With a small footprint at the ground level, guideways can be constructed on even the smallest urban streets. The system can be deployed without having to reconstruct the entire corridor. The intent is to make the guideway as cheap as possible, as such, there is no power distribution in the guideway, just what is essentially a precast concrete beam. The cost is much less than any other fixed guideway transit. A normal single guideway would be about $10 million per mile. With the low cost and individually controlled vehicles, the system can function as both a micro transit system around a single urban area and as intercity transport across the region. Here is a typical layout for an initial system in an urban area. In most urban locations, parking can be consolidated in areas with the best access from the highway. The other connected areas can be more fully developed without being limited by parking or traffic. Shown here is downtown West Palm Beach. By creating a large parking garage at the airport, shown in orange, with direct access to I-95, people commuting to or visiting downtown can easily park at the airport and take quick and easy transit directly to their building. Over time, as more existing buildings are connected and other lots are redeveloped, the number of stations can grow with little impact to current service times. Urban areas can have all the benefits of dense development without the traffic. In just this corridor here, there are over 225 acres of undeveloped or underdeveloped land that can move forward without creating more traffic. Most rides will be nonstop, some rides will have stops, but the stops will be few and will be on the way. Depending on the guideway alignment, normal vehicle speeds would be up to 120 miles per hour. As the system develops, there will be many urban areas with dense coverage of stations. Most of these areas will have consolidated parking that will allow new dense developments that will essentially pay for and create users for the urban systems. In these areas, most large buildings would have a station connected to the building, or at least very close. These urban systems will eventually be connected together to form a larger network of guideway. While the urban areas would have very dense coverage, with stations up to every block, the suburban areas would be more sparse with several miles between each station. And, because the vehicles can switch between routes, the network of guideways can stretch for a long distance and cover whole areas, not just linear routes. As the network of guideways extend near suburban residential areas, the residents of these homes live too far to walk to a station and would require a parking lot at the station. Users could drive and park at the station, but many people would still need last mile transportation at the other end as well. To resolve this, special drive on vehicles would be allowed to use the guideway as well. These would be a new class of vehicle specifically designed for use on the guideway that can also drive on surface streets. Once in the guideway, the vehicles would be completely automated. For these users, they would be in their personally owned vehicles the entire time, and the guideway would just be an automated 120 mile per hour roadway, not transit. This is still the same guideway that is used for the transit vehicles, but the stations and vehicles are different. A typical drive-on station is shown here. The drive-on vehicles would need a drive-on station at each end and would not be able to access the regular transit stations. Thus, the downtown areas won't get clogged up with single-person vehicles on the same guideway. Because the system is completely automated, it is easy to create time-based or dynamic restrictions based on congestion. With this system in place, there are many benefits to society. Traffic in general would be reduced or eliminated. At a minimum, people would have a viable option to avoid traffic. With the increase in speeds, transit will be faster than regular driving, such that people will choose to use it. Any Goldlane station or regional garage can be an easy drop-off or pick-up location for airport, cruise, or any other connected destination. With easier access from a wider area, attendance at all live events will go up. Beachfront and waterfront properties can redevelop parking lots as new buildings or other desirable open or green space. Residents in buildings with direct access can get to most places without a car, virtually eliminating the chance of accidents or driving under the influence. All connected buildings would have legitimate wheelchair access to all other connected buildings, and a centrally located business can reach the entire South Florida region in about 30 to 40 minutes. Fares or tolls will be collected for all trips, including drive on vehicles. The intent is that the system operations and maintenance will be self supporting. And lastly, the monorail style connection between vehicle and guideway is very secure and can operate in moderately high winds without risk of derailing, probably not during an actual hurricane, but just before and very soon afterward. Thank you.